take a look at Defendant's Exhibit 1091, which is already in evidence. You took this picture as well.
Yes.
And this is a picture that was taken in the Bahamas, right? And this is a picture of Mr. Depp taking a nap on his tropical island, sleeping on the nod on his island.
They're very different.
On vacation.
We were on vacation, yes.
You also took this picture, right?
Another crazy week of Amber Heard really trying to live up to her amazing acting skills, but somehow not quite filling those shoes, even though this is the performance of her life. I don't know if you guys have been keeping up to date on this. I've been watching clips here and there, especially over on TikTok. And let me tell you, the Amber Heard and Johnny case is going crazy. Johnny Depp's new lawyer is a complete badass. I don't know if anyone has seen any clips of her in.
I intend to fulfill those obligations.
Ms. Heard, that's not my question. Sitting here today, you have not donated the $7 million donated, not pledged, donated.
I use pledge and donation synonymous with one another.
But I don't. Ms. Heard, I don't use it synonymously.
But you know what it's like? It's almost like every time she asks Amber a question, Amber manages to ever so slightly go her way out of it, and then her lawyer just slaps back again, while Amber is then just completely left speechless. It's amazing. With Amber Heard getting completely called out to her even basically storming out of the court. We're going to see it all in today's video. Also, I want to quickly say, if you leave a comment down below saying Johnny Depp vs Amber Heard, I'll pick one of you for a shout out in tomorrow's video.
What, if anything, do you recall relating to Officer Melissa Sines' testimony relating to your injuries?
Objection, Your Honor. Hearsay.
Your Honor said I could redirect after cross-examination.
I've seen Johnny Depp's lawyer go absolutely crazy, and I even saw this one clip, I think it was within 10 minutes. The amount of times that she then shot down Amber Heard's lawyer is actually remarkable. Let's be honest, there's nothing better than watching Amber Heard right now getting kind of annoyed. It's pretty entertaining to watch, I can't lie. I feel like that's become everybody's guilty pleasure this week, is just watching Amber Heard cry.
You know, and then wait, and then I accidentally, I swear, when I was trying to close the door, I guess it scraped your toes. I didn't mean to do that. And I bent down, and you either pushed or you kicked. I think you kicked the door open. I mean, the door, yeah, more open so that it would hit me. And it hit
No,
me.
I didn't mean to. I didn't know
It
that.
hit me in the fucking head.
But I did not mean to do that. I don't know what you're
I
talking
was
about.
bent down behind the door.
I did not do anything to her. I did not kick a door or push a door so that it would hit you. I did not. I swear that I don't even. That did not. That was not my intention. I think I remember when the door scraped my toes. I reacted, but this whole the door thing. I remember. I never did that. That wasn't on purpose. I might have done it on accident.
Okay.
Why is it me, or why does Amber Heard sound like a 6-year-old? Guys, she hit him because her dog stepped on a bee. Oh. It all makes sense now. Why didn't you just say that in the first place? I mean, I get it. To be quite honest, there's just nothing worse than when your dog steps on a bee. She sounds like a child trying to explain themselves. She really does. While watching this all week, it just seems like that even more so. I mean, she's literally gone crazy this past week, trying to explain herself, but it just doesn't sound good.
Heard stole my sexual assault story. Ex-aide tells libel trial. You see that?
This was Adam Waldman as well.
Doesn't say Mr. Waldman. It actually says Kate James also says she often received abusive text messages from Johnny Depp's ex-wife, doesn't it?
I just know because he threw down the article.
Miss Heard, isn't that what that
Mr.
says?
Waldman threw the
Miss
newspaper
Heard,
at me afterwards.
Miss Heard, that's not my question.
Well,
The question is,
I also just love the fact on how calm she's trying to keep, because obviously that must be very hard for Amber Heard, especially when she's used to just punching people when she doesn't get her own way. I'm sure like standing there like an actual adult and trying to talk things through, I can only imagine how frustrating that must be for her. She's more of a hands-on type of girl when it comes to resolving her problems.
Because he's guilty. Because he knows he's lying. Otherwise, why can't he look at me? I survived. I survived that man, and I'm here, and I'm able to look at him.
Thank you. You were asked about a bruise.
Also, it's like the little monologues that she kind of did at the beginning, I find, of the trial. You know, like the little scripted things that she almost remembered in her head. She's not doing that anymore. You can tell she's slowly but surely just getting absolutely defeated. But actually, it's remarkable because somehow now that's even worse than doing those monologues that she did at the beginning. Somehow that was even better. It was more believable than what she's trying to do now. Like, I don't know what they're telling Amber Heard to say, obviously, but it's almost like they're all just live streaming this on twitch.com with the title being, let's do a speed run on how quickly we can pay Johnny Depp $50 million. Like, the answers you're giving aren't even answers to the question that you're being asked. And it's actually embarrassing. The moment Amber stormed out of the court before the judge or the jury, not a good look.
You okay? You can go have a seat next to her. That's fine. All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's go ahead and take our afternoon recess then for 15 minutes. Do not discuss the case with anybody and don't do any outside research, okay?
Oof, that doesn't look good. When you literally have the judge that is going to decide whether or not you're guilty, and you just decide to just storm off. I can only understand that, you know, how probably frustrated she's been these past, however, how long do they do it for anyway, when they have the whole talks and everything? Probably for a few hours before a break. Honestly, if I was up there on the podium trying to speak on my behalf while Johnny Depp had his new lawyer, yeah, I'd probably... I'd probably be a bit frustrated after a few hours as well. But just to get up and like walk off straight away, like, Amber, what are you doing? Bruh. I like how I'm saying this as well. Like I want her to, I don't. I want to clarify that. I just mean like, how can you even act like this if you're trying to win? It amazes me. Amber Heard's sister takes the stand. I've actually not seen this yet. I can only imagine this can only be good.
We haven't met before. My name's Rebecca Lecaros. I'm one of the lawyers representing Mr. Depp in this case. You grew up in Texas with your sister and your parents, right? Correct. And you were really close with Ms. Heard growing up? We were. And you're still close now, right? We are. And you love her, of course. And your childhood, though, had some difficult moments, right? It wasn't perfect. Your father hit you and your sister at times, right? Yes. And your sister would protect you from that abuse when she could, wouldn't she?
We would protect each other, for sure.
And when you graduated from high school, you moved out to Los Angeles, right?
I did.
And your sister gave you a place to live in LA?
Yes.
And she helped support you?
In part, I also was working myself, and yeah,
And you're grateful to her for being there when you needed her, right?
of course.
And just like she protected and cared for you, you want to protect and care for her, right?
And when I can, of course, but yeah.
You testified to having a great relationship with Mr. Depp when you first started dating your sister, right?
Correct.
And you thought of him as a brother?
Yes.
He called you sis?
Yes.
And you had affectionate nicknames for him too, didn't you?
A number of them, yes.
Yeah. And you testified that for a time you lived in the ECB penthouses with Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard.
That's correct.
And Mr. Depp owned those penthouses?
He did.
You didn't pay rent while you were living there, right?
No.
You didn't pay for any of the bills for the penthouses?
No. It's very generous.
And Rocky Pennington lived in one of those penthouses also, right?
She did.
And at some point, her boyfriend Josh Drew moved in, right?
Yes.
And Isaac Baruch lived in one of those penthouses too.
Yes.
Good afternoon, Ms. Enriquez. Mr. Depp and Ms. Heard, right?
Clearly not very well, but yes.
And when you were in that role of marriage counselor, you empathized with Mr. Depp, right?
Yes, on occasion.
Because you had a pretty good understanding of what he was going through?
It depended on the situation. Sometimes I could totally see from his perspective. Other times I saw it from her perspective.
Well, you'd been there with Ms. Heard before, right?
We're sisters. Of course we've argued.
And you knew what it was like to want to run away for days and do your own thing and not have Ms. Heard there fighting with you, right?
I think that's kind of taken out of context a little bit. I think more metaphorically. But yes, I have been in arguments with my sister.
And you have wanted to run away for days, right?
Sure.
And not have her there fighting with you.
Sure.
And you said Mr. Depp's already intoxicated?
He was by the time I got there.
And he was fighting with your sister?
He wasn't doing much of anything. He was sat at the table. He was telling me about the fight that they had.
So
he
you'd
was kind of
been
ignoring.
fighting with your sister that day when you arrived?
That was my understanding.
And you said she had a puffy face?
Yes.
And despite all of that, you decided it was a good idea to do cocaine with Mr. Depp at that juncture?
I hadn't yet connected the dots. I hadn't yet understood what that meant or what that would do.
That was a yes? Yes, you took cocaine with Mr. Depp?
I
after all
did.
that?
Yes, I already said that.
And notwithstanding that, in June 2013, you were actually joking with Mr. Depp about hitting your sister, right?
Regrettably over a text message, yes.
Regrettably. Yeah, okay. Well, it couldn't have been that bad if you're literally joking with your sister about Johnny hitting your sister. Also, her sister seems way more calm and collective than Amber Heard. The fact of how, like, obviously biased the sister is probably going to be towards Amber, right? I mean, literally is her sister. And even yet, there's from time to time, she can still side with Johnny, even in the slightest. From a lot of the videos that we've seen as well, it's almost like Amber is trying to entice Johnny into getting a reaction from him when he's really not doing a whole lot. And that's kind of the evidence that she's been giving to the court, where it's just, in my eyes, obviously I'm not a judge or a lawyer, I have no idea, but it just seems a bit ridiculous as you're really trying your hardest to get a reaction out of Johnny. And most of the time, you're not even getting anything out of him. Like that famous clip at the beginning of the trial when Johnny had just lost his mum that day, and she's secretly recording him while being a complete arsehole, and still didn't get any much of a reaction apart from he stole her phone and turned off the recording, which understandably so. I like how then she literally looked at that as like, yeah, see, he snatched the phone out of my hand. Oh shit, his mum just died. But it's been an interesting week nonetheless. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Have you been keeping up to date on the Johnny Depp and Amber Heard case? And what are your thoughts and feelings on the stuff that has really been going down this week? Let me know in the comments down below. And well, boys and girls, if you did enjoy today's video, make sure to hit the like button. It's always muchly appreciated, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye-bye.